in this model, we are going to look at the drug information part where we add new drugs, we add categories, we add drug unit, we add drug manufacturers, we add drug location. So first, let's look at drug category. When you click on the drug category, here you can add a category of drug that you want by typing the name of the category. Suppose you have a category of drug, let's say antiviral drug. So if it's antiviral, then you type the category, click on submit, and new category is added. So you see that we have the antiviral here as a drug category. You can update it by adding something to it, maybe antiviral drug, then you click on update, so to update it and add it to it. The same thing applies to drug unit. You can add your drug unit. Let's say you have a drug unit of 20 ml. You just click on submit, then you have the 20 ml added to it. So this is the 20 ml which is added. The same thing applies to drug manufacturers. If you have a drug manufacturer, then you type the name of the manufacturer. As we have Tobacco group of companies, you have NS Chemist, you have Entrance Pharmaceutical. You can also add your drug locations where you pack your drugs for sales in shelves within the shop. Let's say we have a shelf number A3. Just type A3, you click on submit, then it will be added to it, so that when you are locating the drugs in the shop, you know where actually that you have to place each one drug. So under the drug information, these options here are very vital, because whenever you're adding a drug information, you will need the options within these buttons that you have to apply. So let's add a new drug. Let's see how we add a drug. You click on the add a new drug. The moment you click on it, it gives you a notification, and that notification helps you to access the system functionality. So this initial notification is telling us that there are 9 drugs that will expire soon, so that you can actually do something about it. So with this page, it displays total drugs, emptied drugs, drugs that are expiring, drugs that are soon to expire, and it gives you a graphical representation of total stock of drugs that you have. For example, paracetamol has a total stock of drugs of 198. We have omeprazole having a drug stock of 347. And this page also displays drug information, every information of your stock of each of the drug. It displays within this table. So we will take time and look at the details of this table. So this is the initial page where you can actually add your drugs, and whenever you add your drugs, it forms part of this table. It displays in this table. So if you want to add a drug, you just click on add drug information, and all the details here are very vital that you have to take key note and enter each of them according to your specification and how you want your drugs to cost. So we have drug code, drug name, expire date, category where we enter the drug category, drug unit where we enter the drug unit. We have a location rack where we entered the drug location. We have the manufacturer where we also enter the manufacturer information. So you type your total stock of drugs, your minimum stock of drugs, your description, the cost per unit price of one drug, and the sales per unit price of one drug. Then you can add your VAT. You can also add your discount. Now let's quickly add one drug information with an ID which actually do not exist within our system, so that you actually know how to add a drug. So our drug ID will be 2024. So that will be our drug ID, and our drug name, we will still use the eye drop. We have the date, that's 2025 September. Okay, and the day will be 3rd. So on this day the drug will expire. We are taking syrup and 40 ml. Location, we are taking A3, and manufacturer Entrance Pharmaceutical, and the stock we are adding 100. The stock left is to check the minimal stock, so that it will give you notification that you are running out of stock for eye drop. So the number you enter here will tell the system to give you notification when you are when you get close to that number. So when it is 10 or below 10, it should give us a notification. And our description, we enter our prescription, which is, let's say we are saying that 2 drops on each eye twice daily. Suppose that is the prescription, twice daily, and the cost is 10 Ghana cedis. We are selling it at 15 Ghana cedis. We have our VAT. We can add our VAT and it will calculate it for us. We can also add our discount and it will also calculate. We can remove the VAT. We will still have the discount in it. We can also remove the discount. So it is there that you can actually use it. So after entering there, you can choose to add an image, or so we are not going to add an image. Let's click on submit. Then you see that product saved successfully. So we've added the new product called the eye drop. Click on continue. So let's go back to the drug table here. So let's search for the drug that we've entered. It was eye drop. So when you type eye drop, you see that the drug that we just recently added is here. We have an eye drop. We didn't add an image to it, and this is the drug code. This is the number of stocks. Is stocks left. We haven't sold any of it, and you have other details of it that I will explain later. Okay, so this gives us the summary of amount of drugs that you have within the shop. You can add a drug information using this button or this button here. You can print this page by clicking on this print button, and it will give you access to actually print the records that you have for this particular page. Okay, this table actually gives us a brief summary of all the drugs that you have within the system. So if you look at this side here, the total number of drugs that we have is 45. So we have 45 types of drugs in the system, as it has also been recorded here. So each drug can be updated using this button here, the pencil button here, if you want to update the drug. This column shows an image of the drug. If you added an image to it, it will be seen here. You have the name of the drug, you have the code of the drug, you have the total drugs. That is, total drugs of paracetamol is 200 in the system, and drugs left is 198. This here actually changes color. You see the background is blue. So when it getting close to the minimal stock, as we adding the drug, it will change to orange. And when it falls short, that is getting empty, it will turn red, which will automatically indicate that that particular drug is running out of stock. This column indicates the drugs sold. So total we have 2 paracetamol being sold, which reduces the 200 to 198. And the cost of one drug is 4 cedis 50 pesos, and the sales of one drug is 5 cedis. So the total cost of drugs left, all the drugs, which is 198 left, its total cost is 891 cedis. And cost of drugs sold, the total cost of drugs that has been sold, which is the 2, will give us 9 cedis, because one is 4 cedis 50 pesos. And we have this side also displaying total sales of drugs left. If you sell all of them, which is this one, if you sell all of them, you are going to get 990 cedis, because one is 5 Ghana cedis. And total sales of drugs sold, all the drugs that has been sold, the total amount is 10 Ghana cedis, because one is what, 5 Ghana cedis. When we look at total cost of drugs, all the drugs that are within the system, that is for paracetamol, all of them is 200 in number. The cost of all the 200 drugs, which one costs 4 cedis 50 pesos, will give you 900 Ghana cedis. But if you sell all the 200 drugs, which one costs 5 Ghana cedis, it will give you 1000 Ghana cedis. So this actually will give you a summary of the cost and sales prices of the drugs, of each drug that you have. And this side, the expiry date, when it is red, it means that the drag has expired. That is why the background of all this row is what? Red. But the background of this row is yellow, and the background of this row also is white. So when you see the background being red and the date has a background of red, it means that the drag has expired. But if the background is yellow and the background of the date is green, it means that that particular drag is getting closer to its expiring date. But if the background is white and the date is green, it means that you have some months or some days for the drags to expire. So with this table, you can actually know your expiring drags and your drags that are about to expire and drag that has not expired. You can use this button, which is the delete button, to delete a stock of drag if probably you want to delete a stock of drag. So all the expired drags will be found in this page, and the drags that are soon to expire also will be found in this page. So within this, we have 16 drags expired, and if you want to know the details of all the 16 drags expired, you click on the button here. It will give you the details. So there are 16 drags expired. So here are the details of all the 16 drags being expired, the quantity of drags that has expired, and the date at which those drags were expired. Here you can also click on the soon to expire drags, and with the soon to expire drags, we have now drags that will expire soon. It also displays the total stock of drags that are about to expire and the date at which those drags are going to be expired. And here too, there is none, which is empty stock. The empty stock will also display the number of drags that are emptied from the stock that you need to update or replace them. So for now, there are no drags that are empty. That is why this table is empty. So within this page, which is the drag information page, you are able to actually check your stock amounts, unit prices, total sales and total cost of each drags, update the drag by clicking on this button. So for example, we are going to update the eye drop that we added. So let's search for it, eye drop. By using this search tool, we have eye drop. So click on this button here to update it. It will bring it as here. So this is the code of the eye drop, the name, the expire date. It is a syrup, it's 40 ml, and the location. You see that we have stock of 100, we have minimal stock of 10. So we want to increase the stock from 100 to 150. So we just add 50 to 8. So add it to 8. Then if you want to change anything here, you can actually change it. If the cost is too much, you want to reduce the cost to 13 cedis so that it will be cheaper for other customers to buy. So you make changes to any of the fields that you feel like making changes to. So if you want to add an image, you can browse and choose the image and add it. So after you make all your changes, then you click on what? Submit. So when you click on submit, it will bring you here, which is the view details page. It would actually showcase the changes that you have made. So you see that at first the selling price was 15 cedis, but now it is what? 13 cedis, and the stock left was 150. It was 100, but now it's what? 150, which means that the changes that we effected has actually worked. Okay, so from all this, then you can click on back to take you back to this page.